I love this car. I love this car. I'm so glad to have it back. I'm sorry, neighbors. 6,000 only. It goes to 9,000. What is up, guys? My name is Brent Ruiz and welcome back to the channel. Right behind the camera, I am looking at my completed Ferrari 458 Challenge Evo. It is finally working. It is actually done. And I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but I'm actually about to drive it home right now. Just looking at it here, oh my God, it looks freaking ridiculous. It's been a long time coming, 10 long months of it being out of commission. There's a whole long story I need to talk to you guys about, but let's get inside and at least hear the car today. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to show it to you guys today. Mark your calendars for August 12th, Monterey Car Week. I will be debuting this car there. So yeah, for now, let's get inside and go for a drive. All right, we're on the road. So far, everything is working normally. I do have a check engine light just because I think when we disconnected the battery and all that, like we totally removed the tune, which is supposed to tune out the check engine light, but so far, so good. I can't believe it works, oh my God. And people are already trying to race me, dude, what the heck? In a Tesla, come on, bro. I'm already, I haven't even gone half a mile and we're already getting way too much attention. How am I going to avoid state refs and all this? There is no way. I don't think I'm gonna last like, I would say a week or two after I really start driving this thing before I get pulled over and state refed and towed and the whole 9 yards. It's gonna be an issue. I think it's really gonna be an issue because I am not going to change the exhaust on this car. I'm not going to change the way that it sounds whatsoever. So we're going to have to do everything we can to be careful around cops. And you know, if I do get pulled over, which I'm sure I will eventually, hopefully the cop is really nice and he likes the car and he likes the wrap. Fingers crossed. All right, pulling into a gas station for the first time. Let's see how many people look at this thing.
Your destination is on the right.
Because this is definitely not something that you see every day. Dude, it's been so long that I've driven this car, I almost forgot what side the fuel tank is on. Holy moly, okay, we're good. By the way, this is how Bob Left Motorcar labeled my car. The wrapped 458, yeah. This car is definitely wrapped. So we have a journey home, which I'm really gonna try not to go too crazy today because I'm really still kind of playing it safe with the car. I think I had like a nightmare recently a couple days ago that I was driving this car after I picked it up and I got the transmission light again. So that literally is my worst nightmare. I hope it doesn't come true. But yeah, let's get this show on the road. Let's head home. Dude, I almost forgot that the blinkers are on the wheel. That's how long it's been since I've driven this car, 10 months. It's like you really have to learn your car all over again. No, not really, but it's still definitely something new. And well, this is really just ridiculous because everyone's looking at me. All right. Now, the other thing I'm super happy about is that I installed the air cup lift system in this car. It's a hydraulic lift system because this car did not come stock with the lift system that would usually be a button here. But I definitely need it now because of the front splitter, how low the car is now. It is probably the lowest you can get static. I did not want to bag the car at all because I would never bag a car that I'm intending to track and drive hard. It just doesn't make any sense. So that being said, if you're interested in a really amazing and very, very affordable lift system, this is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just really, really happy with their product. Link in the description below. The company's called Stance Parts and they're based in the Netherlands, I think, but they do make a really, really good product. Just driving on the street here for the first time in so long. The shifts are as crisp as ever. All right, on the highway. Obviously this older generation of the dual clutch gearboxes, they're not as fast, even though they're still relatively pretty fast. The shift response time, they're definitely not as fast as today's more modern cars, which they've just become instantaneous. But I'm not gonna complain. I am just so happy. I'm so glad that the car is shifting at all. It is moving. We're on the road. What the heck, dude? So much stress, so much just terrible news upon terrible news. And now we're here, July 15th, 2021. This is definitely gonna be a day that I remember. And hopefully with what I'm going to be doing with this car in terms of sharing it with you guys here on the YouTube channel. If you want to follow the journey with this car, subscribe to the channel. I really, really do appreciate that. You do not want to miss the shenanigans, just if you're a fan of the amazing exhaust notes, follow the channel. This car really is an amazing sounding car. And especially with all the new emissions laws that are coming into play, all the new EV cars and hybrid cars that are coming out, the sound that comes out of this car will not exist for much longer. So let's definitely enjoy it while we have it. And well, I'm gonna have it forever because I am not getting rid of this car. And just the way that it looks on the exterior now, it really does match the insane sound that this car produces. So I cannot wait to reveal it to you guys. August 12th at Monterey Car Week, that's when it's gonna happen. Please mark your calendars. And again, I'm sorry for teasing it again, but the only reason you waited is because I had to wait for all the problems and everything to be done. And yeah, it was a whole mess, but we're here, guys, and I'm glad to have you here with me. It's so strange coming from the AMG to this car. Like, they're so different. Like, the throttle pedal on this car is so sensitive compared to the AMGs. And then the brake pedal, it's like more sensitive on the AMG, and on this car you have to press it a lot more for it to do anything. So definitely things I'm going to have to get accustomed to again. Wait, massive shout out to my wife Sarah. She's in the car behind. We're currently using my mom's pickup truck to haul the remnants. Well, when I say remnants, it's my entire disassembled original gearbox. So if anyone needs a bad gearbox that's already disassembled, which costs about $5,000 to disassemble, you can at least save yourself the $5,000 cost of disassembling the gearbox and do whatever you want with the rest of the gearbox. Wow, there's so many people looking at me. It's kind of weird. I'm gonna have to get used to that again. Oh, I love this car. I love this car. I'm so glad to have it back. It's like, actually, you know those days when you get a new car and you go pick it up? This almost feels better than that, because all of the struggle from the past 10 months and before that during the build process itself took way longer than it should have. But this transmission failure was just kind of like that dagger, you know? Just getting it back today, it just makes it feel that much better. And man, let's downshift a bit. Oh my God, the way it downshifts. You can hear as it ricochets off the building walls. Holy crap. I'm sorry, neighbors! 6,000 only. It goes to 9,000. Oh my God, I just... Oh my God, I miss this car. Listen to what it sounds like just backing it into my garage. We made it, guys. We freaking made it back home, and I cannot be happier. No issues. I think we're good with a new gearbox. Holy crap. What an ordeal, finally over. All right, so we just got everything unloaded into the garage. This is what a 458 transmission looks like in its completely disassembled state. So if you're interested, just wanted to show you guys this. Also, this is obviously the casing of the gearbox right over here. This is super heavy. This is the E gear. This is the clutch control plate, an electronic unit attached to the clutches right there. This is more synchros, the gears and stuff. That's what that looks like. All right, that's very heavy, so I'm not gonna try to take that out, but maybe I can do some workouts with this. This is the speed sensor. This is the item, the electronic item that is most common for causing 458 transmission failures. It's only about a $1,000 part, but obviously you have to get inside of the gearbox to change it, and that's where most of the cost lies. So yeah, it's not very cheap to not only disassemble, but obviously put it all back together. You definitely have to know what you're doing when you're disassembling, but more importantly, when you're putting everything back together. That's where most people have problems. So yeah, it's not an easy task, and that's why we pay these guys the big bucks. So in terms of labor, what I paid for the disassembly was $5,000. Putting everything back would have been another $5,000, but obviously we did not have to do that because once the mechanic found certain things inside of the gearbox, well, it was basically decided that it would be a lot less risky to just get a new gearbox instead of trying to rebuild this with new parts. And the new parts that we had to buy themselves were like $15,000. So, and in the end, we decided to just go with a whole new gearbox instead of having that doubt in the back of our heads. Even with a mechanic as good as the one that worked on my car at Boboleth Motor Car Company, he's an expert at doing this stuff. Even he said that there was still that small risk of, you know, just based on what happened at the previous shop and the way that they rebuilt it, it was, you know, there's certain things that could have still gone wrong, and definitely a lot of unknowns. So that's why we decided to just go ahead and get that new gearbox, put it in real quick, and it was actually real quick. It was like 3 days to put it in, and I think we did the right decision because the car is right there. I drove it back home. There was no issues, so we're good to go. Obviously, there's a lot less money in my bank account, $30,000 less, but it had to be done. I mean, this thing has been just completely disassembled. Everything is in pieces. The case, it's actually not as heavy as I thought. The real heavy stuff is like obviously the gears and definitely this stuff, the E-gear. So yeah. And this box right here, this is actually a fuel filler neck. So apparently my fuel filler neck went bad during the time I was down. And the previous shop where my car was at for the past 9 months, they ordered me a new one. But this is actually for a Ferrari California. Guys, come on. So what the new shop did, Boboleth Motor Car, they actually took this California fuel filler neck and modified it. They took a piece of it and put it into my car, and it does work. So the other cool thing about this is that, I don't know if you guys know this, but for the Ferrari 458 and I think other Ferraris, at the gas station, for like 90% of the fuel stations here in California at least, the way that the fuel nozzle is on these cars, you're pretty much forced to hold the nozzle back to make it pump fuel. So you have to be there looking like kind of an idiot, holding your fuel nozzle neck back so the fuel comes out, which is not ideal. So at that Shell stop earlier today, I actually was able to just pump it normally and have it pump without me holding it, which is really, really nice. So, but yeah, that's what a Ferrari 458 transmission looks like in its completely disassembled state. Starting bid, $5. I'm selling this thing. I actually don't know how I'm gonna sell this, but I think if I can find somebody who's actually doing a rebuild of their own on their Ferrari 458, they might be interested in this, because at the end of the day, well, I don't know if you guys remember, but that Ferrari 458 transmission rebuild video that I did several months ago, obviously, I did this thumbnail where I said $35,000 transmission failure. And that was kind of like a clickbait thing. That was like worst case scenario. It pretty much came true, because this has cost me $30,000 all told. The crazy thing is that if I were to buy like a completely new gearbox from Ferrari themselves, that would have been $40,000, and they make you install it at a Ferrari dealership. So that's another like, I don't even want to know, but the labor costs at a Ferrari dealership is obviously very, very high. Boboleth wasn't too cheap either, but I really wanted to have somebody legit and experienced to do this. So that thumbnail I made kind of came back to bite me. Not quite $35,000, but pretty darn close. But yeah, I'm looking at the car right now, and I'm sorry to keep teasing you guys, but this thing looks freaking amazing. At the end of the day, 10 months later, here we are. The car's in my garage, and I get to at least stare at it. I'll probably do some like secret testing in the canyons in a couple days. Hopefully I don't get spotted and the build gets leaked, but yeah, don't try to spot me, guys. Don't try to spot me. It looks really, really colorful. It looks really, really fun, and obviously it sounds very, very crazy. So if you want to see the content around this car, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a like if you liked it, and I will see you all in the next one. Deuces!